Greetings. So, I saw this article on MSN.com and I'm going to read it out. It's very, very sad, and my message will be at the end. It's entitled, Scott Young, tycoon involved in £20 million divorce battle, falls 60 feet to his death. A financier at the heart of one of Britain's biggest divorce battles has died after falling from his £3 million home and impaling himself on iron railings. Scott Young, 52, suffered horrific injuries after plummeting 4 stories from a window of his luxury central London penthouse. His death comes almost a year after an extraordinary legal fight with his ex-wife concluded at the High Court. Michelle Young, 49, won a £20 million payout after a 7-year legal battle, but declared the sum a, quote, disgrace, end quote, and is never believed to have received the cash. She says she thought Mr. Young was worth, quote, billions, and claimed that he had hidden his fortune. Mr. Young claimed he was penniless after suffering a financial, quote, meltdown 7 years ago, with debts totaling £28 million. The judge criticised both parties in a damning judgment. He said Mrs. Young had run up a legal bill of more than £6 million and employed 13 sets of lawyers and 4 sets of accountants. That's Mrs. Young, by the way. Mr. Young's body was found by residents in Marylebone on Monday afternoon. Firefighters had to cut through the railings with an angle grinder before the body could be removed. Neighbours said that the tycoon had moved into the duplex apartments a few months ago with his American girlfriend, Noel Renault, 30. Gary Sutton, who was working nearby when Mr. Young fell, told the Daily Mail, "It was a horrific scene. The police were visibly shocked. One said it was one of the worst things he had seen on the job. It was all very distressing." Mr. Young offered his £300 million settlement in 2009, but the next year he claimed he was bankrupted by a disastrous deal and could not pay £27,500 a month maintenance for his ex-wife and their daughters, Scarlett, 21, and Sasha, 19. Mrs. Young demanded half his assets, claiming he was worth, quote, a few £1 billion at least, but had hidden his cash in a series of secret investments. In January last year, Mr. Young was jailed for 6 months for refusing to disclose full details of his wealth to the court. I'm just going to end it there. I think you know where I'm going with this, and my question is this: how many more people, how many more men specifically, must die? How many? Because Robin Williams died only a few months ago, and nothing happens. Nothing happens then. Nothing happens when a celebrity dies. Nothing happens when a billionaire dies. Nothing happens. Everything just goes back to normal. Normal service resumed. Nothing ever changes. And Robin Williams, he died through alimony. That was the reason why he died. And to hear the excuses that, oh, he had Parkinson's disease, it's bullshit. The reason he died was because he was forced to go on a comedy tour at his age when he didn't want to. He was terrified, just like how Michael Jackson was terrified of performing back in 2008, I believe it was. But it's going to keep going on and on and on and on. So, this man died in the most horrible way imaginable. 60 feet onto railings. The police saying it's one of the worst things they've ever seen. 2 children haven't got a father now. And it's all because the legal system gives women a gun to point at men. And that's what it is. And it's disgusting. What's disgusting in particular is the cognitive dissonance. It's the way you get comments in the below section from women saying, "Oh, I would never do that. That's horrible. I wish, where do the men get these women from?" And it's just a cognitive dissonance because nothing actually happens. Nobody puts the two and two together and says, well, maybe the legal system is biased against men. Maybe the legal system treats men as ATM machines. But that's not going to happen. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. It's going to keep going on and on and on and on.